Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Today I want to make a quick video reminding you guys that this is an inside-out game, okay? Inside first, outside secondary. I know sometimes we can get tripped up and be like, man, this is stuff's going on the outside, whatever, right? And I've been talking a lot about fear, right? And how to really just start to realize that things are just a thought, until we believe it and we don't, then until we believe it has no power, right? Kind of thing. It's not going to manifest till we believe it or entertain it, kind of thing, right? But this is an inside out game. So if we want the experience and the external, we have to create the experience and the internal, right? So we don't see with our eyes. I mean, we do, but we don't. It's like our little vessel, right? Our little scope. But we actually see with our brain. And depending on what beliefs we have, depending on what state of being we are in, is how we are filtering what we're looking at, right? So, and then of course, perception is reality, right? How you're seeing things is how they show up. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, kind of thing, right? So everything is just out here. How you perceive it is how you're going to experience it. So that's why I say, like, hey, we have to really get a good grip on what is actually going on internally, because when we are in a more favorable state, more stable, more secure, we are going to be able to look at things just like this. We're going to be able to feel secure, feel safe, look at things and not take it as a threat. Not be like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to get, you see this? I'm not going to get it. No, I don't feel safe. Like, when really you already weren't feeling safe and you already weren't trusting and believing, right? It's like trusting and believing from a fearful state is damn near impossible. So anyway, we want to, like I was talking about yesterday, give ourselves a chance, right? Nobody wants to be walking around fearful. And again, in this fearful state, you're going to be perceiving everything as a threat or paranoid about something happening this way. Or what does this mean? What does that mean? I have many stories about how paranoid that I used to be from a prolonged fearful state, right? And some of them are probably quite embarrassing, but I wouldn't even think they're embarrassing now. They're just kind of funny. I was talking to somebody in a session about it earlier, and I was like telling her how it was when me and my wife had split up, a couple years back. And we were just laughing on the session because I was like, no, I love you. Like, it's just like, right? But like, nonetheless, I was in a fearful state. I wasn't trusting. I didn't have a lot of confidence in knowing in self. And I damn sure didn't know who I was as far as consciousness, right? I knew it. I knew the assumption or the idea, but there's no way I could feel it. There's no way whatever I could even really get to know that, because I was so scared. And I was filtering everything through this fear, right? So we want to, again, get to the root, not believe every thought, right? And create said experience internally. That's it. And something that really has helped me is like the video I made not too long ago. We become what we contemplate. When you walk around and look at abundance, it activates the abundance within you, that state. And everything's a state, right? So when you look at stillness, like a tree, and watch it be still, you become still on the inside. When you are watching evils of the world, like things like this, right? You become this. So we want to get stable, stop being so fearful, and be able to look at the world through this secure state of being and be able to filter all the circumstances, everything that we're seeing through this state. And we're only going to be able to do that, I mean, like, without it being a threat, we're only going to be able to do that when we are out of a fearful state. I think that's what I meant. Yeah. Inside first, outside second. Fear has many manifestations. The state of fear has many manifestations, right? The thoughts, the circumstances, emotions. So does abundance. That has many manifestations. The feeling of abundance inside. So does the state of being of love. The state of being of appreciation has many manifestations. I know this to be true. The state of being of, what have you. It's all a state. A present state has many manifestations. Like, nonetheless, it's all just a state. And then out there is a manifestation of your state. Because you are It's just energy manifesting. That's it. A state of being manifested in the external wind form. But you have already experienced it internally first. That's why it seems a little bit odd, right? When we do feel separate when we're fearful, you know, and then we're like, oh man, this person did this to me, or this person did this. When really we've been entertaining stuff like this and being in a fearful state long before we saw any type of reflection, right? Like this. Also, the people leaving, people not showing up how we want them to, breadcrumbs, third parties, all that good stuff, right? At that point, we've abandoned self long before this happened. So we don't want to do that anymore. And we do want to be in a place where even when we do see the maybe our not so favorite creation out there, that it's not really that big of a deal, right? And it doesn't scare us because guess what? It's just a thought, just a creation. But we're not going to be able to look at it like this. We're not going to filter it in a favorable light through a scared state. I know I've seen comments, and I've talked with people like, why can't I just imagine like an end scene where like we're in love, or end scene where I got the money, like I try, but like then I think of something else, and like I see them with somebody else, or like that's hard to do the money thing. If you're in a fearful state, it is going to be hard, and it's damn sure not going to be believable. It's not going to be a light visualization. Even if you did get some type of reflection that was, I guess, more so in alignment with a more favorable end, if you're in a predominantly fearful state, you'll question it. You will be like, what does that mean? You will not believe it, you will not believe it. And you'll sabotage it. Because you're going to filter it through your state of being. What you're seeing through your state of being. No matter what. Because you're seeing with your brain, not your eyes. So let's give ourselves some good, stable, solid glasses. And give ourselves a chance. Right? And create the experience internally. We need to be more interested with what goes on internally than we do with what goes on out there. Because out there is just a reflection. And if we're playing the game of trying to manipulate the outside for our favor, we are playing a game of illusion and not in our favor. It's all a game of illusion, but you know what I mean? Like it's you're playing a game that doesn't line up with what you say that you want. So, but most importantly, my people, it's all about not being fearful. There's nothing bigger than you. And I don't ever want to be in a position where like people, you know, call me or comment or, you know, just reach out to me in general, email, all these things, and that I'm so, I guess, let's say, for lack of trying to find a different way to explain it, like that I'm so far on this side that I can't understand like how it was trying to get stable. I remember it was pretty crazy. So I have compassion with you. I understand. But you have to get stable before you can feel the connectedness to things, because those states of fear, everything's very separate. It seems like people are doing things to you. It seems like circumstances, like the world is just against you, when it's not. It's just responding to what the chaos that you're creating within, and you're fearful of everything because you're looking at it through these fearful goggles and perceiving the world as a scary place. Kind of like Albert Einstein said. He said one of the most important questions you can ask yourself is the world a friendly place or a hostile place, right? Love it, because however you answer that is how you're going to experience it. But if you are in a fearful state of being, when you are asked that question, you are going to perceive it as hostile. If you are in a more calm, secure place, you're going to perceive it as friendly. So, state of being first, inside first, outside secondary. Be more concerned with what goes on inside than outside. Drop out there for a little while. If you're having trouble, like, and you're just looking at things and you're fearful, the reason why you're so scared of it is because of your state. I promise you, I don't look at things the way that I used to look at them. Like, even though I haven't, you know, been super fearful in a long, long time, I do understand. But I'm telling you, you have to give yourself a chance. Get the inside right. Get stable. Don't believe every thought you think. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. And when you get stable from there, then you can do the whole, oh, I accept that, or I want this, or what have you. But it's not going to do you any good until you're stable. Perception is reality. Your perception is from your state of being. Go to the source. Inside right. Outside shows up right. It's just a reflection. That's all I got. See you guys soon.